Stephanie, what do we know about these allegations and the suspect?
Well, Brian, we know the young Canadians are in the midst of rehearsals right now as they prepare to perform at the Calgary Stampede at the stage behind me. But it's made more difficult for the performers as we learn of these alleged sexual assaults that span 17 years, starting back 1997 up until 2014. The family is dealing directly with Airbnb. They say the company has a policy to insure renters for up to $1 million and that they have committed to covering out-of-pocket expenses, including the cost for a rental home during cleanup and repairs at their house. The search has resumed here at the acreage. Police officers first arrived Sunday to scour the property where Douglas Garland once resided. He is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 of second-degree murder in the deaths of Alvin and Kathy Lickness and their grandson, Nathan O'Brien. Officers searched the area and buildings around the home. Investigators aren't saying why the search has started again, but one criminology expert believes they could be looking for more evidence. Whether the Flames make it to the 3rd round or not, police are prepared to keep a high profile along 17th Avenue as long as necessary. Stephanie Wiebe, CBC News, Calgary. The managers at this Forest Lawn location declined to do an on-camera interview with us, but did say that staff were caught off guard, telling us the first that they heard about the closure was this morning on CBC Radio. By early afternoon, most patients were taken to several hospitals throughout southern Alberta. One woman is fighting for her life at Foothills Hospital. Emergency crews say their priority now is to clear the vehicles out of the ditch and allow snowplows to clear off the highway. Stephanie Wiebe, CBC News, Okotoks. And they have no plans to ramp up patrols given this warm weather. They do say if you have to take a selfie, take it on solid ground. Stephanie Wiebe, CBC News, Calgary. The Premier's message tonight, there needs to be a move towards balance. His comments come in light of a recent study that says on average, women in Alberta earn 42% less than men.
Good afternoon, I'm Brian Labby. Thanks for joining us. A Calgary gas station attendant who tried to stop a vehicle involved in a gas and dash has died from her injuries. The theft happened at the Centex North Hill gas station, and that's where the CBC's Stephanie Wiebe is. Now, Stephanie, this must come as a shock to her family.
Brian, I just got off the phone with Miriam Rashidi's husband, Ahmed, who struggled to speak at times, but he did say that he is devastated and that he's lost his wife, he's lost everything, and that he and his son do plan to go back to the hospital for one last visit. We also stopped in at this gas station where staff and coworkers also told us that they're deeply saddened to hear that one of their colleagues has died. We also learned from a manager that she'd only been working there for a short time. In fact, the incident happened on her 3rd day. We do have a statement from Centex Petroleum, which is the company that operates this gas station. They say that they are devastated by Miriam's passing and that their thoughts and heartfelt sympathies go out to her family and friends. They pray that they're able to get through this time of sadness and pain and that everyone's struggling. To give you some background about the incident, it happened on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. This Ford was seen on surveillance video pulling up to the pump. 2 men began fueling but then left without paying. That's when Miriam tried to stop them. She was run over and dragged a short distance. Police did locate that same truck yesterday, but they're still looking for the suspects. They've only been able to tentatively identify one of the suspects, but he's a minor, so his identity is being withheld. Brian, police say that they are talking with Crown about potentially upgrading charges once these suspects are located and arrested.
Okay, Stephanie, thank you. The CBC's Stephanie Wiebe, live from the Centex North Hill gas station.
An animal rescue group is calling it the worst case of neglect it has ever seen in our province. On 2 separate occasions, a total of 201 dogs were removed from a property in southern Alberta, many of them in extremely bad shape. The dogs were found near Milk River, a town of about 300 kilometers south of Calgary. Our Stephanie Wiebe is covering this story for us tonight. And Stephanie, some of the details here are just so disturbing. I see the animals in behind you there, though. How are they doing?
The animals that are here are doing pretty well, given that most of them in ARC's care have already been fostered out into several homes. Just one remains here. His name is Rupert. And the rest of the dogs, though, there's about 141 that have been dispersed throughout shelters throughout the rest of the province. Rescue officials tell us that not only is this one of the worst cases of neglect they've ever seen, it's also the largest dog removal in Alberta's history. Photos posted online show the shocking condition these dogs were found in. And a warning, these images are disturbing. Many of these dogs were found starving, emaciated, and hungry and thirsty. More than 50 of the dogs have already been placed in foster homes throughout Calgary. The others have been dispersed at other shelters around the province. The hope is to rehabilitate the dogs so that they can eventually be adopted out. Staff at ARC say, though, that it's going to be a long road to recovery for these dogs.
The groups, including ARCs, are always looking for foster homes to take on fostering these animals during their recovery period. We also need donations. It's going to be very expensive. It'll be thousands of dollars to provide the medical care to get them in a position of being adoptable.
So we know that some of the animals were found emaciated. Some of the animals had broken bones. Stephanie, I'm assuming viewers out there are wondering, what can you tell us about the investigation into all of this?
Rob, the Alberta SPCA does have one person of interest, a tenant on that Milk River property that is being investigated. They're in the stages right now of just gathering evidence, but they do anticipate to lay charges soon. The hope is just that this owner doesn't try to own a dog again. Rob, a final note is that the SPCA tell me that it's remarkable that given the condition that these dogs were found in, that only 2 didn't survive. Rob?
And little Rupert, you saying behind you there?
Yeah.
Three-legged Rupert?
A 3-legged Rupert, yes.
Well, I guess somebody's going to watch this, going to want to take Rupert home. Let's hope so. Thanks, Stephanie. That's Stephanie Wiebe reporting live.
Taking a moment just before the game, a tribute to 5-year-old Nathan O'Brien, as thousands gathered at the Saddle Dome to remember him. He had dreams of making it to the NHL. He also loved superheroes. Family and friends wanted to make this Nathan's kind of night.
You know what better way for us to make a special memory for us.
The game, the first fundraiser for the Nathan O'Brien Children's Foundation. On one side, Flames alumni like Sheldon Kennedy and Theo Fleury playing a team called Nathan's Heroes, including his father, his brother Luke, as well as friends, celebrities, politicians, and police officers.
You know, it's every parent's dream to make their child's wish comes true, and we're just hoping that we can do that by helping other kids.
Proceeds from the game will go toward 4 children's charities.
This game is extremely important, not only for them, but I think the people that are going to receive the proceeds from this, from this charity event.
The game also unites 2 families hit by tragedy. Jeremy Lou's mother was among those killed in a mass murder this past December in Edmonton. The 14-year-old says this game is for her.
Just trying to make my mom proud.
Also some fun for Luke O'Brien, who scored a goal tonight and was also getting on-ice tips from his mom.
She's an okay coach, but talking back's probably going to bench you.
Yeah.
For those in the stands, it's a night to remember.
I think it's great. It's great to see Calgary come together. It's a really community-focused city.
So I think it's important to keep remembering the memory of Nathan and that family, because it doesn't just stop after the news stops. So it's important to stay together.
Whether you're even just thinking about us or coming out to a game or buying a ticket or supporting us, that's a little bit of superhero in everyone.
The O'Briens say they hope to hold more fundraisers and keep Nathan's legacy alive. Stephanie Wiebe, CBC News, Calgary.